Okay, hi and welcome everyone. So can everyone hear me okay? Yep. All right, so well, welcome and thanks for joining us for the 2020 Fonterra Share Dairy Farmer of the Year Award. This is a continuation of the Tasmanian Dairy Awards, where last week we had a successful live stream and the announcement of the Dairy Business of the Year Award winner, the successful recipients being Grant and Kumarcha of Active Dairies. So I guess today, unfortunately, we have to spare the fanfare and the shiny lights of the gala dinner that we're typically used to. That's the unfortunate part. The positive part of all that is we don't have to listen to Jono tell jokes all day. Now, just a couple of housekeeping things. To view this session, you can find it on the TIA YouTube site and also the Facebook page. And so today, we'll be announcing the winner of the Share Dairy Farming category for 2020. So my name's Simon Jones, and I'm a Dairy Extension Officer with the Tasmanian Institute of Agriculture, Dairy Grains and Grazing Centre. So I'll be your host today and facilitate the best I can, but I'm not flying solo. So with me, I have the rest of the Dairy Extension team. I've got our team leader, Leslie Irvine, a little wave from Leslie. I have Sam Flight, my offsider, who also works in Dairy Extension, and Nathan Backer, our technical assistant. So together we'll provide you and assist you with any questions. And if you have any technical difficulties at all, you can always contact Sam or Nathan or Leslie. Now you can contact Nathan on 0427 112 459 or Sam on 0409 8013 341. Just a couple of things while we're live streaming is that if you can minimise your background noise and any movement, because sometimes it's a bit distracting, and particularly if there's a washing machine in the background and the cat's trapped and it's sort of calling out. So it can be a bit off-putting. I think that's all. So this will be an open forum and we're live streaming to all across the state. You will be able to ask questions of the farmers as we move through the presentation. And like all events we run, we like them to be interactive. So ask as many questions and feel free to join in as we go through the process. I'd also like to acknowledge and give thanks to Fonterra for their ongoing sponsorship of this award. It is the Fonterra Share Dairy Farmer of the Year Award, and Fonterra have been proud sponsors and have supported this award for quite a few years. And having said that, I'd like to welcome Darren Smart, who is our Regional Farm Source Manager for Fonterra. And I'll call upon Darren later to announce the winner of the award. So I'd also like to personally thank all the participants in the award. This year there's 3 finalists. And I'd like to congratulate them for their outstanding performance and achievements. The finalists are Craig and Zoe Waterhouse, who share farm for Doug and Wendy Nichols at Marrawar, Marcus and Simone Haywood, who share farm for Chris and Joe Holmes at Ringarooma, and Genaro and Rosselyn Velasquez, who share farm for Michael and Cheryl Hughes at Edith Creek. So well done to everyone. I would also like to thank the judges for this award. So together with myself, Troy Franks has judged for the last few years. Troy's the area manager of milk supply for Fonterra, and I'd like to thank him for his valuable input and his company along the journey. Also Damien and Brooke Cocker, who were last year's winner of the 2019 Shared Dairy Farmer of the Year award. And without them, this wouldn't be possible. So just thanks for particularly making the time, Damien, taking the time out of your busy schedule to assist with the judging. Finally, I'd also like to introduce and welcome Dairy Tas Chief or Executive Officer Jonathan Price, and I'd ask Jono to officially open today's event. So over to you, Jono.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon. Once again, a fantastic effort by all to pull together this online awards session. So, yeah, given the backgrounds of a number of share farmers that I'm sure you'll touch on later, certainly showcases the attraction of the dairy industry. We've got international participants. We've got participants who have relocated to Tasmania from the mainland. So, and they're all very much part of an integral supply chain that's continuing to expand. But fortunately, they're also able to contribute to the
it seems that we've lost Jono's connection. How are we going?
Available to touch on earlier, and yeah, really look forward to unpacking some of their backgrounds on how they've ended up sort of. Once again, they've all been incredibly supportive as we've swung over from the awards evening that was planned for March 19th. They've all sort of been very supportive of this different delivery method. So yeah, we're hoping that we can do their sponsorship justice and ensure that they get the recognition that they deserve for partnering with such an imperative and key award. And yeah, we're really looking forward to watching it unfold over the next hour. We've had some great feedback on the Dairy Business of the Year award last week. So I'm hoping that we can maintain the momentum, which was the original theme of the conference. And yeah, I take this opportunity to not only highlight the Tasmanian industry, but the career opportunities as well. So good luck to the participants, judges, and I'll touch base later on after the winner has been announced. Thank you very much, Simon.
Good. Thanks, Jono. We lost you there a couple of times, but pretty well got the gist of what you were saying. So I'd just like to acknowledge Dairy Tas. They're great supporters of the Tasmanian Institute of Agriculture and also of the awards process and of our extension activities. So in conjunction, we run a number of extension activities and programs of work, which are supported by Dairy Tas to assist the industry as a whole. So thanks very much, Jono, and we look forward to continued support. So now I think it's time to meet our finalists. I'd like to thank all the participants in the award, but there were 3 finalists this year. One of the highlights when we judge this award is that you meet some great people and you see some great places. And when you think you've seen it all, or when I'd thought I'd seen it all, we headed down to Marrawar and to visit and meet with Craig and Zoe Waterhouse. So I'd like to welcome Craig and Zoe and introduce them to the audience. And firstly, ask them to share with us a little bit about their business and how they conduct their business. So, Craig and Zoe. So could you tell us where you share farming and a little bit about the farm that you're on? So
sure. So we share farm at Marrawar which is on the far northwest coast of Tassie. We are probably the most western dairy farm in Tasmania, apart from King Island. We have 110 hectares and we milk 240 cows.
Great. Now tell us a bit about your share farming. I guess one of the things about the far western tip of Tassie was that it's the most picturesque farm that I've ever seen. And I reckon there's probably, if you were going to farm anywhere, that'd be your choice. So great views, very photogenic. So we've got the video and some drone footage here of the farm, the cows going into the dairy. Craig and Zoe, apart from the great place that you farm, can you tell us how you started share farming? How did you get your start? Where have you come from?
Well, we spent most of our time in WA, Margaret River, milking cows over there. And we decided that it was time to travel down to Australia with the kids. And when we got to Tassie, we thought this place is too good to leave. So we just started out looking for a job just milking cows and got offered an opportunity up here to share farm. And that's when we took it. And it's been great ever since.
Yep. How long have you been share farming for? When did you start?
This is our second season.
Yep. And before that in Margaret River, how long were you farming there?
About 18 years over there swinging cups in Margaret River region.
And can you tell us what the share farming arrangement that you're on?
Yeah, so we're on a 20% share, which means we get 20% of the milk check and we pay 20% of rubberware, electricity and chemical. We also provide all the labour and our own quad bike.
Okay, and pretty well past your base there. Is there any irrigation?
No, we're 100% dry land.
Yep, so that adds to the challenge of the area.
Yes, yep.
When do you calve?
We start calving in winter. So usually around the 10th of July, we start calving.
Okay, so you'll be drying off soon. Looking forward to it.
4 weeks away and counting.
Very good. Now, I guess one of the things that I'm interested in is, as judges, we talked about the 3 important factors in running a successful dairy farm business. Could you tell us a bit about those?
Sure. So our number 1 is fertility, because if you can't get your cow and calf, then you don't have a cow to milk. So we focus on our fertility. Financial literacy is a big thing for us. It's not just the physical work that matters. It's also understanding the financial side of things, and also the relationships that we build and that we have, whether it be your nutritionist, your agronomist, your accountant. So yeah, relationships are a big thing as well.
Yep. One of the things that you said to us was, as part of your philosophy, was being better than yesterday, which I guess we took home as a really key message. Can you explain that, being better than you were yesterday?
So we always try our best to grow, to learn as much as what we can, and then put that into practice. So always trying to improve.
Yep. And I guess finally, what would be one piece of advice that you would give someone who wanting to start out in share farming in the dairy?
I would say definitely do your due diligence. Sit down and have a good conversation with the farm owner and make sure that you both are going to progress, both have the same sort of visions for the farm and the way that you're going to progress into the future. Because if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. You need to work together. So.
Yep. So and I guess finally, can you just tell us a little bit about how you work together? So you're milking around 240 cows. There's the 2 of you there. Do you employ anyone, or is it just yourself? And what's the relationship like with Doug and Wendy?
So yes, Zoe and I do all the milking and majority of the farm work. And if we get really snowed under and things like that, Doug's more than willing to give us a hand in anything that we need to be done.
Yep. And in terms of managing your time and yourself, personal development?
We try and learn as much as what we can in the off season, which is generally when Dairy Tas have a lot of courses available for us to learn. So that's what we try and do. We try and utilise those tools. That's
great. So thanks very much, guys, and congratulations on being a finalist. Now I'll hand over to Leslie, and I'll ask Leslie to introduce our second finalist, Marcus and Simone Haywood.
So thanks, Simon, and welcome, Marcus and Simone. It's great to have you involved in the Share Dairy Farmer of the Year award. And so I've seen Marcus around in the dairy industry a fair while, and more recently Simone. And so Marcus and Simone, can you just tell us to start off with about where you're farming at the moment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're farming at Ringarooma, in the Ringarooma Valley. So if you draw a line between Launceston and St Helens, we're pretty much right in the middle. We've got a few nice hills around us, so it doesn't get too wet where we are. Yeah, sort of a bit more nicer weather than what you get on the northwest coast occasionally. I'm originally from Smithton, so it's nice to get up here and see some sunshine sometimes. And get stuck under a cloud down that way sometimes. Yeah, so that's where we are. We're milking 220 cows on average. We peak out at 236 in the spring. We've been, I don't know what else I need to tell you. We've been share farming here 4.5 years. We're into our 5th season. Simone came from the middle of Melbourne straight into share farm with me, completely green, no experience. So that was a big learning step for her. The farm owners have helped us along. Like they've put us on and they want us to learn how to run their farm and improve ourselves. We met Chris about the same time. He wanted to start to step back away from doing so much work, so it was a nice meet in the middle with the farm owner on this property.
And so, Simone, how have you found it learning how to be a dairy farmer?
Fun, good bit of fun. I got a good boss. Chris and Joe have been pretty welcoming to me as well. So I'm lucky that they were happy to take on a green thumb, start me from scratch. But all of them have been very patient with me. So yeah, I've been pretty lucky, and I love it.
That's great. So you've mentioned that you've got that you're working with Chris and Joe Holmes. Is there anybody else that's involved in your farm team?
No, it's just the two of us do the majority of the work. It's the share farmers, and it's in our share farm contract that Chris is still signed on to do the effluent management for us, because he's got his own slurry wagon and bits and pieces, and he likes to have something to do. So that's in the contract for him to do. And he sticks around, and if we need any help, if we get snowed under or peak harvest season silage or anything like that, he's more than happy to jump in a tractor and help out if we need him to. Or the farm's been in his family for a long time, so he knows the farm better than anyone. So if we need to know anything, or even to the point of where underground pipes are on the property, he knows the whole lot, just off the back of his hand. And his wife, she helps out as well. Jo helps out. If we need anything from the vets at Scottsdale, she'll pick it up and bring it through to us, or a bit of run around, as well as the financial side. She's more than happy to, and has done, open the books up to show us a bit more of the financial side of what it takes to run the farm, because they still have the full financial control of the farm.
And so what's your share farming arrangement?
We're on a cents per kilo basis, so if I make more milk solids, we make more money.
Yep.
So it's simple and I like it. We don't pay any bills on the farm. We don't need to have any of our own equipment, but we have purchased a couple of motorbikes and fertiliser spreader, just in the interest of growing our own business and growing our own equity. But yeah, we don't have any bills to pay on the farm, or we don't have any. We own a few cattle on the farm, and that's about it. But it's only, I think we own 14 cows in the herd at the moment, so, and that's through Chris giving it given us the calves to rear to start growing our own herd. Other than that, we don't have any ownership of the farm.
So can you tell us about what's important to you in managing your business? So what are the things that you feel that you need to get right to have a profitable business?
Yep. Well, we like to keep it simple. That's sort of our main key point, I guess, is we keep it simple and do the basics right and do them well. So that covers up everything from having your cows in good health and in a positive weight gain when you want to get them in calf, so they have a chance to get in calf, and just something as easy as keeping power in your electric fences, because if your cattle are breaking through your fence every second day, it's pretty hard to get pasture management right. These sorts of things. It's just getting the raw basics right from the start. The next thing would probably we always try to be as efficient and practical as we can on the farm. So like something like, say, testing for pregnancy in our herd. We're in a herringbone dairy. We've got pipes and bars and rails and things overhead. It's not very practical to get the vet in to pre-test our herd while we're milking. So we test for pregnancy in the milk samples, which a lot of people do now, just because it's so much more practical than getting the vet in to test each cow during milking. And the last thing is communication, having clear communication amongst ourselves and the farm owner, knowing what we're all doing. But also things like when contractors come on to cut hay or silage for us and fertiliser trucks coming and going, just have clear communication among everyone to know who's coming and going and who's doing what job on what day.
Okay. And finally, if you were talking to somebody that's interested in getting into share dairy farming, what bit of advice would you give them?
Probably the biggest thing would be that farming's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't go too hard and burn yourself out too quickly, because you go hard through calving season, you get to the end of calving season, you've got another 8 or 9 months of milking ahead of you before you can start to slow down for the winter period. So just remember to have a life. You've got to try to get the work-life balance right, because on a farm, when you're away from a town, it's very easy to get in the habit of just work every single day, and you need to, I think, remember to have some sort of balance and stop and take a breath every so often.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much, Marcus and Simone, and good luck. So I'm going to hand back to Simon now.
Righto.
Or Sam.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. I was thinking Simon might want to say something else, but that's okay. Welcome, Genaro and Rosselyn, Velasquez. So, I guess a personal congratulations on being a finalist. And I had the privilege of coming out when Simon and Troy and Damien were at doing the judging, and got to take some lovely photos of your friendly cows. So yeah, that was really enjoyable. So I just want to ask you guys a few questions, and are you able to, I guess, introduce your farm? So where are you share farming, Genaro and Rosselyn?
Yeah, sure. And yeah, so we are share farming in Edith Creek in the northwest of Tasmania, in the circular head area, and it's we milk about 467 cows at the moment, and yeah, so it's a 143 hectare farm, 122 hectare milking platform, and it's heavily irrigated. About 85% of the farm is irrigated through a couple of pivots and hard hose, and yeah, spring calving farm, and with somewhat short calving spread, 6 to 8 weeks, and yeah.
Lovely, that's really good. And so tell us a little bit about your share farming journey. So I guess how and when did you start share farming, and just tell us a bit about your story.
Yeah, so we started share farming on this farm 2 years ago. This is our second season as share farmers, And yeah, so we were given the opportunity by Michael and Cheryl, and yeah, so that's how we started share farming.
Yep, lovely. And so where did you come from before that, Genaro?
We've been around the country a little bit with farming, and yeah, so like originally we are from Venezuela, and we started farming on a beef cattle farm in Queensland, and then we started dairy farming in New South Wales in a little town called Manila, and we spent a few years there, and then we worked in Southwest Victoria around the Simpson area, and then we moved to Tasmania in July 2016, and where we took our first job as farm managers, and on a farm not far from where we are, and yeah, and then we just stepped up to a share farming position on this farm we currently own.
Yep. So the current farm there in beautiful Edith Creek, are you able to tell us a little bit about the farm team and farm owners?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's only the two of us operating the farm most of the time, and with the assistance and support of the farm owners, Michael and Cheryl Hughes, and with the agreement we have in place, they actually play as a relief milkers. So when we take time off, they come and milk for us, and we also negotiated a couple of weeks that we take off during the year, so they come and take over from us and look after the farm while we're away. So yeah, but basically, yeah, most of the work and most of the milking and things is done by us. And however, we don't make any silage or like we don't produce any for our own farm. So they do all that on the runoff blocks where they live. So yeah, so we do milkings and rear calves and things, but then they look after the young stock, and once they win and they make all the so it works. Yeah, it works really well like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine there'd be, I guess, pros and cons of that, but I could imagine, yeah, you'd be super busy. But
Yeah.
Can you go into your share farming arrangement and what that looks like?
Yeah, well, it's a $1 per kilo of solids that we are on, and with that we're also responsible for some of the costs as well. So we pay for rubberware and dairy detergents, and we have to supply our own motorbike and fuel for the vehicle. And yeah, so and yeah, that's basically it. So and we also get some cattle as part of the deal. So the first year we got 20 heifers as part of the deal. This year we had the option to get up to 50. So yeah.
No, lovely. And I guess when it comes to thinking about the dairy business itself, are there three things that you could highlight as, I guess, most important to a successful dairy business?
Yes, sure. And I think the first one would be like pasture management in general, but we look at it as a very complex, big sort of category, and topic. Because when we think about pasture management, we take into consideration things like fencing infrastructure, making sure that fences are up and there's enough power going around the farm and things like that. Because there's nothing worse than having cows breaking out and that causes some issues, and that interferes with efficient management of your pastures, and then obviously like all the things like rotation length and strip grazing and monitoring your residuals and pre-grazings and all that sort of thing. So that would all be part of that pasture management component. And the second one that we pay a lot of attention and we focus a lot on is animal health. And and same again. So, but in animal health, we include animal nutrition, and that goes from lead feeding, and as a tool to minimize issues during the lactation and maximize production. And and then we also take into consideration in that component like a low stress handling of the cows, and with the same purpose, maximize production and reduce issues like lameness and things like that. And also the third one would be financial management, and I think it's a crucial one for a dairy business, but also for share farmers as a separate business as well. And I think like it is one of the key components. I think if you can manage your finances properly, it's gonna be very hard, like to be able to succeed. So
Genaro, your passion was very evident when we come out for a visit the other day. And I guess what I want to ask finally is, if I was wanting to go into share farming, what's one piece of advice you'd give?
I would say make sure you up your farming skills and you financial management skills. I think, push yourself, make sure that you learn as much as you can, like never assume that you know too much of anything, and and try to manage your finances as good as you can, because that's gonna fast track your progress in the industry, and it's gonna have an important impact in your potential success.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you for sharing that insight. So now I think we had judges' comments from Brooke and Damien.
Yep. So thanks, Sam. I'll just jump in there.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, that's okay. So just before we go to Damien and Brooke, Damien did accompany us on the judging, which was fantastic. Just in terms of the share farming category, share farming has become a lot broader than it used to be. So Genaro and Zoe both spoke about their share farm arrangements, so 20% and cents per kilo milk solids, which is quite typical now of a share farming arrangement. The Share Farmer Award is open for those who are interested, to dairy farmers who generate their income as a percentage share of milk income, or paid on a cents per kilo of milk solids basis. So that seems to be the more common way these days, and share farmers are a critical part of the industry. So without them and without the good job that they're doing, would leave a significant gap in the industry. So I think we need to value the share farmers, and this is what the award does. We recognise the effort and determination, the commitment that the share farmers make, and not only to the success of their own business, but to the success of the farm owner's business as well. And I think we need to keep that in mind. In terms of the judging, that's the tough job, where we get to do some work. We don't just drive around and clean out the Marrawar shop of the last pie and pasty. And I don't think they've sold a pasty since we were there, because I think that was when the light switch flicked and the COVID-19 hit us. So I'm probably grateful that the dairy team were down there. So in terms of the judging, there's 4 key criteria that we consider, and they include a farm management category, which is about pasture management, measuring and monitoring use of fertiliser and nitrogen, and pasture consumption. Everything to do with management, as Genaro mentioned, that he's tried to take every opportunity in upskilling. Herd management's another one, as Craig and Zoe mentioned, that they're always looking to improve the herd. Maintaining the dairy herd, keeping good records and production targets, and working with the farm owner in being able to do that. Also, animal health and welfare is a big part of that category as well, that criteria. The other one that was mentioned by all 3 of the finalists was financial management. So that's the third category, which is where everyone was keeping an annual budget and a cash flow budget. We're very aware of the need for keeping good records, and also having a business strategy in terms of their future development and growth. And then, of course, there's the people management. And what's really important in terms of that in a share farming arrangement is the relationship that all three mentioned around that relationship with the farm owner, and the need for that to be as good as it can and have really good open lines of communication. The other thing in the people management space, because a lot of the time share farmers are working independently, do a lot of the work themselves, tend not to employ a lot of people. And I know, Marcus, you mentioned this about the need for to be able to look after yourself and manage your time, and to be able to have a work-life balance, which is really important. I think when you can realise that early, you've got a long future ahead of you. I think if you do go in hard, you can burn out pretty quickly, as you've already acknowledged. So they're the four criteria where Leslie put up the wheel, which is the judging wheel that we tend to refer to. I'd like to hand over to Damien. Damien was last year's winner of the Share Dairy Farmer Award, and Damien was share farming down at Rushy Lagoon. He's since realised his goal of owning his own farm, and now he's milking almost 300 cows at Sheffield. So Damien, if you're there, I'll hand over to you to make a few comments about some of the things that were important and that stood out for you on those farm visits. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Simon. First of all, I'd like to thank yourself and Troy for and Sam, our photographer, for doing the judging. A special thanks for Troy for showing us that there was a shortcut from Marwood to Edith Creek, but perhaps we might find out exactly where that is next time. And also I'd love to thank the three finalists for entering. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have this competition, and it was a real privilege to go and have a look at your farms, and you've showed us around, and all ends of the state. I suppose, everybody's doing a really good job out there. I was pretty impressed. A few comments, I suppose. Start down Craig and Zoe. They're doing a real good job, and it's very hard to start being the first share farmers on a farm. With a farmer in his own ways, they have to sort of blend into the situation and become a new team, so to speak. And I can see they're making inroads in getting new pastures and that sort of thing, and doing a really good job, and picking up production and whatnot. And I suppose Marcus and Simone, they're up in Ringarooma, and they're doing a good job there, also on their own. Well, everybody's on their own really, pretty much, and with no full-time labour to help out. So they're going really well. I was really impressed with their presentation as well up there, with their their facts and figures. They're right onto their business plan. They know exactly where they are and what they're doing, and got plans in place to grow and proceed up, perhaps to 50-50 down the track, and with Craig and Zoe talking along them lines down the track as well. So it's really pleasing to see that they're making those steps up through the system. And then back at Edith Creek with Genaro and Rosselyn, they're just their herd health, and the cows, I've never seen happier cows standing out there asking some questions, and the cows are trying to put their heads under your arm and answer for you. They're just doing a really good job there. Yeah, no, it was really a privilege to be involved in the judging competition, really.
Great. Thanks, Damien, and thanks for coming along. It was a pleasure to have you along and get your input. I guess just in the wrap up before I hand over to for the moment we've all been waiting for, I'd just like to say that in terms of the criteria, we do allocate points for that, and for each farmer and for each criteria. And at the end of the day, you know, the person with the highest number of points is the winner. So I think I'll hand over to Darren Smart now, just to make a few comments and to announce the winner.
Yeah, thanks, Simon, and thank you to all that's involved. So good afternoon and well done to Craig, Zoe, Marcus, and Simone, Genaro, and Rosselyn as finalists in the 2020 Fonterra Sharefarmer of the Year's Awards. It's great to hear stories that we've just captured through, and that's got you to where you are today, and also that you've got that continued ambition to grow your business moving forward. So. As Simon mentioned, I'm Darren Smart. I'm the Regional Farm Source Manager for Fonterra. Thank you to Tia and Dairy Tas in facilitating this award. So Fonterra and our Farm Source team have been involved with various Tasmanian Dairy Farmer Awards, and specifically the Sharefarmer Award, for a number of years now. Not only do we recognise the importance of building and supporting the Tasmanian dairy industry, but also you, as the people in dairy that produce great quality milk that's processed into various products and consumed more broadly and globally. So well done. Fonterra and our local farm source team engage closely with our suppliers and provide dedicated resources focusing on people, finance, agronomy and nutrition and quality, and supporting the continued development of our industry. Damien, great to get your final comments, and again, congratulations on your awarding last year. So, in light of all that, the key reason that we're here today, I'd like to announce the winners of the 2020 Fonterra Sharefarmer of the Year Awards to Genaro and Rosselyn Velasquez, so from Edith Creek. So. Congratulations, Genaro and Rosselyn, and but well done to the other guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, guys, and well done to everyone else. And everyone, just stay on, because we'll be coming back to the other finalists, and I'll ask Genaro or Rosselyn. Rosselyn hasn't said much today, but congratulations, and would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. And yeah, we'd really like to thank Fonterra, Tia and Dairy Tas, and for making this award possible, and for the initiative in recognizing the effort that dairy farmers just making in Australia and in particular in Tasmania. And it's really a privilege for us to receive this award, and especially like I suppose it would be for any winner, but it means a lot to us, because we coming from new people, new to the country. And we came here 10 years ago with no plans to achieve these sort of things. And we had plans in life, but we didn't plan to be Sharefarmers or Tasmanian Sharefarmers of the Year. But we've put all the effort and that to get to this level. And so it's really a huge privilege for us to receive this award. And we would like to congratulate the other couple of finalists as well, because we truly believe that at this stage we're all winners. And so congratulations, guys. It's great effort. And we also like to thank the farm owners, Michael and Cheryl Hughes, because firstly for giving us the opportunity to become share farmers and for believing in us and trusting that that we have the potential and the capabilities to run the farm to this sort of level and get these sort of results. And but also because of all the support and guidance they've given us, particularly during the year of the award. And yes, thank you very much. And we would also like to thank my mom and dad that live here with us. They've been a great ongoing support for us, and because of them, we've been able to get the extra commitments and make the extra effort to perform to this level. And so it's big thanks for them as well. And we would like to also thank our accountant Andrew Radford from ATR Accountants in Winged. Like he's been our accountant and mentor as well, and it's been great to have his support and the support of his team as well. And because as we said before, financial management is a crucial thing in this journey, and they've provided us with all the support and help to make the right business decisions and to be in a good position. So big thanks for them. And also we would like to thank the local Roberts team in Smithton, in particular our rep here, David William. They've also been so supportive and they've always been there. It's always hard when you starting and you the small guy, and we'll always remember the people that have been there when you're starting, because it's pretty easy to get the support when you're the big one, but when you're starting and not everyone wants to give you a hand, but there's been a lot of people that have believed in us and they've given us plenty of support. So big thanks, and thank you very much.
Good. Okay.
And Simon, I'll just interrupt there before we go any further. There's lots of feedback happening on the live stream, so lots of congratulations. And I might just mention now for those watching live that please put some questions in the comments if you want them to be asked during this session. So more than happy to jump in and ask you questions. So please do that now if you've got any. Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, good, Sam. Genaro, you mentioned, you've been over here now 10 years. I think one of the things for us that we're impressed by was your drive to improve your knowledge and upskill. And you mentioned that when you were talking earlier. Can you tell us a bit about how you've done that? What courses, how you've developed and improved?
I suppose when we started dairy farming in 2012, we started right from the bottom, from the beginning as farm hands, and that we had a bit of background in animal health and things like that. But then once you get into the business, you sort of realize that there are, if you want to advance in the industry and if you want to make some progress, you gotta start filling some gaps. And so we started identifying what those gaps were, and for us, we had, as I said, we had some knowledge of animal health, but all the farm operation and the actual running of the farm is knowledge that we didn't have in general. So things like pasture management, irrigation, people people's skills and all that sort of thing. So, you know, as we stepped up in the industry, we were taking on to more responsibility, and we were realizing and identifying that there were areas in particular that we needed to up our skills in, and they're the ones that we started focusing on. And yeah, so as I said, it could have been pasture management or people management or financial management and things like that. So and as I said, as we've moved forward, we've been making sure that we keep filling those gaps as good as we can, and then we were just pushing ourselves to be able to put that knowledge into practice, and that's what's sort of taken us to where we are now.
Yeah, and Genaro, you mentioned that you've taken up opportunities as they come along. How do you identify those and choose which ones are best suited for you in your share farming career?
Look, well, like in general, we were always looking for the opportunity that was gonna give us the more exposure to those areas we were lacking knowledge, and then we were just going from there. Like we were just pushing our boundaries. Like, you know, like when we took onto our farm management job here in Tasmania, our knowledge of like pasture management and things like that was very basic, especially for a Tasmanian system. It was crucial that we had that on point. And well, and you're a witness of that, because our first proper pasture management course, we did it with you and Leslie in Smithton. So, you know, and yeah, so I think that was, for us, it was just about pushing the boundaries, making sure that that we were covering all those areas that we were lacking knowledge in.
Genaro, just a question we've been asked online is, I guess, thinking forward, do you see a transition to farm ownership, or do you think sticking with share farming is something?
Not at this stage. And like we at the moment we are working on some other projects as well, and we're going to continue to work in the industry, that's for sure. And but so that at the moment there is I can't go into too much depth in the details of that new project, but there is a possibility we're going to be leasing a smaller farm and running that farm and starting up another business alongside that one, also related to the industry. But I think at this stage, farm ownership is not something that we can see in the near future, but it's not off the table.
Not something you'd rule out anyway.
No, that's for sure. But it's not something that we can tell you, you know, within a couple of years we are expecting to buy our own farm. But it is a possibility, but it's not certain at this stage.
That's great. Thank you.
Genaro, if we sort of look at your position at the moment, can you tell us about, you've been able to increase production and through increasing herd numbers, but also production per cow. Can you tell us how you've done that, and what do you think some of the key success factors are in being able to improve that herd? So they're a fantastic herd of cows. You might talk about the breeding as well.
Yeah, sure. And so we milk about as I said, about 467 cows. They're predominantly Jersey cross cows, and around 480 to 500 kilo cows on average, and really high producing cows. And yeah, so I think, but they have historically been good producing cows, and I think probably the main things we've done to maximize productions has been we focused a lot on pasture utilization, and as we said, making sure that we haven't been able to go and measure every single paddock and such, but we've been keeping a real close eye on residuals, pre-grazings, and making sure that we strip graze when we have to. And because of the layout of the farm, the size of the paddocks and things like that, we're not required so much to be strip grazing and things like that. Most of the paddocks, the 1 feed paddock and things like that, and we just play with morning and night feeds for depending on the size of the paddock. So, but that's been one of the things. The other thing, as we said, is we try to implement a low stress handling of our cows. I think that impacts a lot on production. So things like, let the cows come out of the paddock on their own. We don't put a lot of pressure behind the cows, minimizing sick cows, lameness and mastitis and things like that. Just by preventing a lot of issues, you can maximize production. It's a lot of milk that you dump by having a lot of lame cows or by treating a lot of mastitis cows. So we try to put in place good hygiene practices, and we wear gloves, try to keep the areas dry and clean and things like that. So we work on little things like that make a huge difference, and also trying to minimize stress in the actual dairy and the yards and things like that. And I think that in some way that's why we can have a herd of cows that is so quiet as these ones are, and it's amazing, like they know it, and every day we see more and more friendly cows, and like sometimes they really get painfully friendly, like they're faster following you than walking in front of you sometimes. But I think that all has an impact on production as well. So I would say, low stress handling and pasture management, and fed application and urea application in a timely manner. I think it's been one of the key things. And last year, like this year, we've even been able to increase production a little bit more, and that's been we analyzed last year's performance and identified some areas where we thought we could improve, like urea application during some parts of the year, and we've already seen good results. Like last month, we produced about milking only 2 more cows than the year before. We've been able to produce about 11.5% more solids only last month on its own, and just by tweaking a few things, and and reducing damage during the like pasture damage during the winter time and things like that. So it's all little details that bring a lot of productive results at the end of the day.
Yeah, great. Rosalind, might get your feedback here. You mentioned low stress is important, and we know that that's very much linked to really good cow health, animal health and welfare. How do you think your background as vets has influenced the way you manage a dairy herd? Have you got any advice or any experience that you've brought with you that's helped you in terms of your herd management?
Is that Rosselyn or me?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Rosalind. Yeah.
I think the key thing is hygiene. Like if you follow a good hygiene plan put your gloves and good teeth spraying, you better keep cows healthy, and and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that the other thing is just like, I mean, we vets, but we came here fairly quickly after we finished uni, so we didn't get to practice a lot back home. However, you bring theoretical knowledge and things like that, and I think one of the main things is just to more than the experience we had, it was just the knowledge and the ability to probably understand some technical things a bit quicker. I don't know, like I think that could be one of the things, and like using drugs and things like that probably a little bit more efficiently, and saving on some of the drug use, and or using this one instead of the other one that may be more effective, and understanding why, or using some together just to, things like that. I think is probably what's come more of a help us as vets. It's just to get that extra bit of understanding, I think. But
most of our experience in dairy farming, we got it here in Australia.
I would say, like, 80% of our knowledge as dairy farmers it's being gained here from Australian dairy farmers. We've been really privileged to work with some really good farmers, and we've always been trying to attend to meetings and Young Dairy Network gatherings and things like that, and try to get things from all different perspectives, and try different things, and we I think that's what's been key.
Rosselyn, where do you consider home? Do you call Edith Creek home, or?
Both. I suppose, like, our country is always going to be our home, but like, we consider Australia home as well. Like, we can't really complain about the way we've been received here from everywhere we go, or everywhere we've been, and we've been in many different places here. Like, we've had the opportunity to live in different places in Australia, and we can't really complain about how we've been treated and how we've been received. So Australia is our home as well, and now Tasmania. So we love the whole country, but I think we wouldn't leave Tasmania now,
especially Circular Head.
I think this is where we'll stay.
And Rob, a question for you guys, but particularly Rosselyn, I'm interested to hear, like, as partners and working together, how does that work? I mean, is there any tips that you give for other couples out there working together? Like, how do you make it work?
Lots of patience, I guess. And we're very connected, and we have our plans and our visions are the same. So if you're connected, it will be easy to work together.
Yeah. And when it comes to your day-to-day jobs on farm, how do you manage that? Do you have a job list or a whiteboard where Genaro's got jobs to do and you've got jobs to do? Is that how it works, or?
I suppose it depends on the time of the year. Like, it changes. Like, during calving, we try to like, she focuses a lot on calf rearing, and like, we do the milkings together, and we pay a lot of attention to, like, colostrum collection and things like that. But we do the milkings together, and once we finish milking, I stay in the dairy washing, and she goes and feeds calves and things, and I can go around the farm and do all the other things. Like this time of the year, it's a little bit more balanced for us, and there's not as much to do on the farm, so milkings and feeding air and things like that. So I do most of that, and yeah, but it changes a little bit with the time of the year, but yeah, like whenever we try to share it a little bit, and I suppose like now with Rosalind's pregnant, so I try to do most of the work, so she helps out with the milkings, and then I do most of the rest of the work, but yeah, any other time we share it a fair bit, but we have a little kid as well, so we try to be here with him as well. So, but if there's much happening, Rosselyn will come and spend time or more time with him, and I can I'm happy to stay out there and do whatever needs to be done. And but no, I think it's we share the workload a fair bit.
That's a great question, Sam. I'd just like to ask Craig and Zoe and Marcus and Simone about how they manage working together day in, day out, and how you share the workload, how you share the responsibilities. So Zoe, would you like to, or Craig, start off?
Yeah, so very similar to Genaro and Rosselyn. We're both there morning and night milks. I do most of the calf rearing, through silage and hay. Craig's out in the tractor, and I'm in the shed milking the cows, doing whatever needs to be done. Craig does most of the feeding out, and then I guess as we don't employ anyone, one of us wants some time off, then one of us will milk by ourselves to give that other one a sleep in or an afternoon off.
Yeah, that's great. Marcus and Simone?
Yeah, we're pretty similar again. We divvy up the jobs fairly well. Simone will generally do the less physical jobs if we can help it, and I'll do the more, the more heavier lifting sort of jobs. We go. I'll do four early mornings, and then she'll do the other three out the week. So Simone will do Saturday, Sunday, and Monday early mornings, and I'll come in at normally about 10 to 7, something like that. Start a bit later, and then Tuesday through to Friday, I'll do the early morning, and she'll come in at 7 o'clock. But we milk together the majority of the time. Share the milkings. Just makes it go a bit quicker. Gets through it. Simone turns the music on at her end and dances around. Has a bit of fun. But we get through it.
I'd say the best part about working with your husband is he can't sack you.
What's the topic of conversation at the breakfast table then, Simone? Is it all work focused, or?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
give me
definitely.
my list of jobs. Yeah. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it should be.
Chris comes over with his big wooden spoon, and he's always stirring us up.
You got to have fun on the farm.
There's always a good bit of banter on our place.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned was that was the relationship that you have with Chris, and that every morning you all have breakfast together. Is that right?
Oh, he comes over and he'll have a coffee while we have our wheat bix and toast in the dairy. We'll sit down after meal, go wheat bix and toast at the dairy, because we live across the other side of the farm, so it's just easier. Sit in the dairy, get the toaster out, pull up some wheat bix, and we just eat there and then get going with the day. So, and then he comes over and has a coffee and finds out, do we need anything from the shop, from Roberts or anything like that? Have a bit of a stir while he's there.
I think one of the things in share farming is that farm owner, share farmer relationship. What are the key things that make that work for you?
For us, probably that we all get along really well. Like we absolutely get on like house on fire. We play on the same 8-ball team as him and go all around the northeast of a Thursday night playing the 8-ball comps at all the different pubs. But we're all on the same page as far as the farm goes as well. We all want the farm to go in the same direction. We agree with all the different bits of infrastructure upgrade that we want to have done, how to go about it. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just been a nice meet and a nice mesh, and it's probably one of those things with us and Chris and Joe that you can't really explain. We just really get on very well.
Yep. And Craig and Zoe, how important is it then when it comes to renegotiating contracts, the relationship with the farm owner? And
What's just communication is the biggest thing, and just setting your goals and making sure that we both the directions that we're going in is right. The way he wants to go, we're stepping back and we're stepping forward.
yeah. And Genaro, for you the same. When it comes to some of those important or key points in terms of the relationship with Michael and Cheryl, what advice would you give to other farmers, and how's it work for you?
Yeah, no, I think that is crucial, because it's like I believe that relationship is like another marriage you getting into, and so you really want to have a really good relationship. But as any marriages, like, they're not gonna be all 100%. So you're gonna have ups and downs and things, but overall it's a great relationship, and I think it's just a crucial part of the deal. Like, if you can't get along with the owners, like, it could be very, very uncomfortable. But we've been able to get along with them very good as well. And so I think it's important to keep things clear and make sure that, you know, everyone understands where you're heading and where you want to go and where they want to go and things like that. I think being honest, being clear is probably the best you can do, and especially when you're starting, you want to make sure that you both in line, and not always, like, it won't always be like the deal where you're gonna be forever, but you know, there may be things like in our case, and we knew from the beginning that, you know, we wanted to go 50-50 and things like that, but they were clear from the beginning, well, that's probably not quite where we want to go, but we understood that, but they were clear from the beginning. So as long as you're clear on where everyone wants to go and things like that, that's just important. So I don't think you necessarily has to be 100% in line with where each party wants to go, but you need to be honest and you need to be clear, and we've been able to satisfy that, and they've been able to do the same. So it's been good. So
That's great, Genaro. I was just thinking, just right there is probably a good opportunity to ask Marcus and Simone, or Craig and Zoe, or both, just around what are their goals going forward. So Marcus and Simone, like, going forward, I mean, do you see yourself in farm ownership, or what's the plan?
Our plan at the moment is we're enjoying what we're doing. We're both still very young, so we're just building equity behind us. So 10 years down the track, our possibilities will be open to do whatever we want to do, whether we go buy a farm or 50-50 or whatever it may be. We're building equity behind us at the moment, and continually building equity. So we just sort of have, I guess, a bit of a 10-year plan to build up equity to the point that you know, we're able to do whatever it might be we end up doing.
Yeah.
It's not a real precise answer, I know, but we're just enjoying what we're doing here for now. And
we're very happy in the dairy industry.
Very happy in the dairy. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. We're not leaving this farm anytime soon. It's just magic up here.
Excellent.
Happy.
Yep, and I can tell, guys, that's really great. What about you, Craig and Zoe?
I mean, ultimately, our end goal would be to own our own farm and run our own enterprise. But like Marcus said previously, dairy farming is a marathon, not a sprint. So right now we're happy where we are doing what we're doing, and you know, we'll slowly build up to hopefully owning our own farm one day.
Yep, exciting, and great that you can see a future in the industry as well.
Yeah, definitely. We love what we do and we're very passionate about what we do. So
thank you, Craig and Zoe. So yeah, you're all a credit to the industry. Back to you, Simon.
Okay, so thanks. Any more questions, Sam?
We haven't got any more rolling in, no, just lots of congratulations to all and things like that.
Okay.
Maybe that's a reminder, last chance. If you want to ask anything, ask now.
Yep. So I reckon one of the things in terms of probably wrap it up there is just to say that overall, you know, in terms of the judging, we were just really, really impressed with the commitment and the professionalism from all the share farmers this year. I think it's just a credit to you what you've achieved and what you're able to achieve. You're all extremely capable farm managers, and I think it doesn't matter what production system that you find yourself in, I reckon you do a great job. You've all got a great understanding of the business that you're in, and I think the farm owners should be really proud to have you on board. I just want to remind everyone, and then that next week there'll be Dairy Tas will have a number of awards to announce. Just hand over to Jono what that looks like and if there's a time for it.
Yeah, beauty. Thank you very much, Simon. Yeah, it was great to get an insight from each of the finalists, the narrative and the background story that they were able to present and portray through this live presentation has been an absolute highlight, and yeah, really enjoyed the extra time that we've been able to allocate to the Sharefarmer of the Year award this year, as opposed to sort of making it part of the normal awards evening. So for Genaro and Rosselyn, I do have this magnificent trophy that I will get down to you in Edith Creek. I'm sure there'll be a ticker tape parade waiting for you when you get back to Venezuela. You'll probably be presented with the keys to the city or something like that. So I'm sure all our international viewers will be ecstatic to when they heard your name read out. So we'll ensure to get that down to you in the next week or so. As you touched on, Simon, I think a real highlight has been the relationship that people have sort of portrayed during these discussions to the share farmer and the farm owner. So obviously that's an imperative sort of key relationship that enables this industry to continue to flourish. And consequently, that sort of flows on to the awards that we'll announce in 2 weeks' time, which is the employee and the employer award. So once again, another vital cog in the industry is sort of not only how the share farmer and farm owner operate, but also the employee and the employer. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be announcing that one. But next week, we have the safety award and the environmental award as well. So we're not intending on sort of having a live stream, but we'll certainly be announcing it with a press release and a number of announcements on the various social media channels as well. So next week, Environmental and Safety Award. The week after that, the Employee and Employer Award. And then it culminates with the Young Farmer Encouragement Award is the last one to be announced. So the next 3 Wednesdays, we'll continue to leverage this opportunity that we've got to promote the industry, and yeah, really appreciate everyone's time and contribution and effort that they put into pre-preparing for a lot of the questions that Simon answered during the course of the day. So thank you very much.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Jono. And also I'd just like to remind everyone that, you know, as a part of this new world that we're working in too, we'll continually aim to deliver sort of our general discussion groups via the same online forum, and everyone's welcome to join in. We've got another one on the 30th, so which will just be Zooming towards the end of the season, and that would just be an update on sort of current management, what the season looks like, and what you can do to sort of prepare yourself for dry off and winter management. So everyone's welcome to join in on that. And again, I'd like to thank everyone for their participation, congratulate all the finalists. Thank you for being a part of this. Without you, we don't have, you know, the awards or, you know, an event like this, and it's a credit to you. And we'll certainly be back here, maybe not here in my office, hopefully not, but or in your lounge rooms or kitchens, but we'll be back here to present the award next year. So thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.